Good afternoon, and welcome to today's presentation, How to Win the VA CFM Healthcare Design, Build, and Construction MATOC. It is a pleasure to have you here. Today's session is designed to be very practical. We are not going to read the solicitation to you. Instead, we will explain how this MATOC actually works, how proposals are evaluated, and, most importantly, how firms position themselves to win. This session is relevant whether you are an SDVOSB, a small business, or a large business considering the unrestricted pool. Here's how today's presentation is structured. We'll start by explaining the DBnC MATOC itself, what it is and how it's used by the VA. Then we'll walk through proposal requirements and volume structure. Next, we'll explain the VA's selection system, including self-scoring and validation. We'll then share specific win strategies and common failure points. Finally, we'll briefly explain how GDIC supports firms competing for this MATOC, followed by Q&A. In this section, we'll demystify what the VA CFM Healthcare Design, Build, and Construction MATOC actually is and how it will be used. The DBnC MATOC is a multiple award task order contract used by the VA for healthcare construction. This is not a single project award. Winning this MATOC gives firms access to compete for future task orders across the VA enterprise. The contract has a shared ceiling of approximately $7.5 billion, a 5-year ordering period, and supports both design-build and design-bid-build delivery methods. This MATOC is used enterprise-wide by the VA and in some cases by non-VA federal entities. The DBnC MATOC is divided into pools, and this is critical to understand. There are 3 SDVOSB regional pools: Eastern, Central, and Western. These are set aside exclusively for Vet Cert certified SDVOSBs, and awards are made by region, not nationally. There is also one unrestricted pool which is open to both small and large businesses and has nationwide scope. The pool you compete in determines who you compete against and where you can receive task orders. This MATOC is not one size fits all. Where you compete determines your competitive universe. Many firms lose before evaluation because they misunderstand how many pools they can enter or fail to document it correctly. These competition rules are strictly enforced. A firm may submit proposals for multiple SDVOSB regional pools. A firm may submit only one proposal under the unrestricted pool. A firm may compete in both SDVOSB and unrestricted pools, if eligible. Appendix L02, the Choice of Competition Form, governs eligibility. If these rules are violated, the proposal is removed from competition without further evaluation. This slide shows how the VA has divided the country into regional pools. Task orders are competed within the pool associated with the project location. Understanding where your experience aligns geographically is essential when deciding which pool or pools to pursue. Projects under this MATOC include a wide range of healthcare construction work. These are active medical environments. Contractors must manage infection control, safety, phasing, utilities, and continuous patient operations. This MATOC favors firms with proven healthcare construction discipline, not just general construction experience. This MATOC is not one size fits all. Where you compete determines your competitive universe. Many firms lose before evaluation because they misunderstand how many pools they can enter or fail to document it correctly. Task orders are awarded based on dollar thresholds. Projects under $15 million are set aside for small businesses. Projects between $15 and $30 million follow a rule of 2 analysis. Projects over $30 million are competed among unrestricted awardees. RFIs are meaningful. Expressing interest and then failing to submit proposals can result in warnings and potential off-ramping bottom line. Winning the MATOC gets you access. Winning task orders requires consistent participation and pricing discipline. The VA is very clear. MATOC holders must compete. Firms that sit on the bench or window shop RFIs risk being off-ramped. This contract rewards engagement. These milestones are tentative, but they illustrate an important point. This is a documentation-heavy proposal. Firms that wait for the final RFP to begin preparation are already behind. Successful firms begin capture and documentation activities early. Now that you know what this MATOC is all about, Let's shift to what it takes to submit a compliant, competitive proposal. The DBnC MATOC proposal consists of 4 separate volumes. Each volume is evaluated independently. Information placed in the wrong volume is treated as missing. Some volumes are scored, others are pass-fail, but all are required. Rules that matter. Volumes are evaluated independently. Information placed in the wrong volume is treated as missing. Page limits are strictly enforced. Government will not search for information. Bottom line, this proposal is evaluated like a checklist plus scorecard, not a narrative. Many firms fail not because they lack experience, but because they put the right information in the wrong place. Volume discipline is critical. File naming is a compliance requirement, not a preference. Each volume must be submitted as a separate electronic file using the exact naming format shown on this slide. The VA uses file names to route proposals internally. Incorrect or inconsistent naming can delay or jeopardize evaluation. The VA uses file names to route proposals to evaluators. If your files are misnamed or unclear, they may never be evaluated correctly, or at all. Volume 1 is a strict pass-fail gate. It includes company information, choice of competition, bonding, OCI disclosure, and signed contract documents. Bonding thresholds are enforced and bond stacking is not allowed. If Volume 1 is defective, the proposal is not evaluated further. Treat Volume 1 like a licensing exam. There is no partial credit. It's either correct or you're out. Volume 2 is where firms win or lose. This MATOC uses a self-scoring system. Offerers score themselves, and the VA validates only what is cited. The government does not search documents or interpret intent. If a claimed point cannot be substantiated, the score is reduced, potentially to 0. If it's not documented, cross-referenced, and verifiable, it doesn't exist. This is not about how good your projects were. It's about how precisely they support scoring elements. This is the most important concept in the entire solicitation. Offerers score themselves using Appendix L05. Your self-score determines your initial ranking and whether the VA even reviews your proposal. The VA validates only the highest-ranked proposals. Scores may be reduced, but never increased. Self-scoring must be aggressive but defensible. This is the only federal MATOC where you decide whether the government even looks at your proposal. Treat self-scoring like a legal affidavit. Every point must be provable. Volume 3 applies only to unrestricted offerers. It requires a small business participation commitment document and for large businesses, a subcontracting plan. This volume is evaluated as acceptable or unacceptable only. Failure here eliminates the proposal regardless of technical score. Volume 3 is one of the most misunderstood parts of this solicitation. Firms spend weeks maximizing self-scores and then lose because Volume 3 is sloppy or inconsistent. The VA treats these commitments as enforceable contract requirements. Price is not numerically scored, but it can eliminate you. Offerers must submit not to exceed fully burdened labor rates using the required Excel template. All labor categories must be priced. Incomplete or unreasonable pricing removes the proposal from competition. With the volumes clear, here's how the VA will actually evaluate and down-select offerers. The VA uses a highest technically rated offerer methodology. This is not a trade-off. Proposals are ranked by self-score first, then validated from the top down. Once the pool limit is reached, evaluation stops. Your initial self-score determines whether you are even reviewed. This is why precision matters. The VA does not evaluate everyone equally. They start at the top and work down until they fill the pool. The VA validates relevant experience, past performance, small business participation, and price. They validate only what you cite. Missing or misleading information results in score reduction or disqualification. Multiple elimination gates exist, and failing anyone removes you from competition. Coming to the tie handling. If multiple firms tie at the cut line, all tied offerers receive awards, pool size may increase. The fastest way to lose is to oversell. The safest way to win is to score aggressively but defensively, with documentation that makes validation easy. Now we turn the evaluation mechanics into a practical win plan. This is a scoring competition, not a narrative proposal. Winning firms design their self-score first, then select work samples that maximize points. They use teaming strategically and make validation easy for the government. The VA is not evaluating effort or reputation. They are validating points. The fastest proposals to validate tend to win. High-quality firms lose for preventable reasons. Inflated self-scores, weak cross-references, late past performance, sloppy Volume 3 submissions, and incomplete pricing are the most common causes. Clean, defensible proposals consistently outperform aggressive but unsupported ones. The biggest mistake is assuming the MATOC is the finish line. The VA wants partners who will compete and perform for 5 years. To close, we'll briefly cover who GDIC is and how we support teams pursuing this MATOC, from early go-no-go through submission and beyond. GDIC is a federal capture and proposal firm with over a decade of experience supporting complex government procurements. We specialize in helping firms compete for large, highly structured vehicles like this MATOC. We support firms from early eligibility and self-scoring assessments through full proposal development, reviews, and post-award task order strategy. This slide summarizes the ways we support contractors across the full life cycle of a MATOC pursuit, so you can plug in support where you need it most. Proposal development, eligibility and self-score assessment, rapid go-no-go clarity, and point-maximizing work sample mapping. Full proposal development with dedicated proposal team. Independent reviews, compliance, scoring defensibility, cross-reference accuracy. Capture management. Dedicated capture management to drive schedule, teaming, and win themes. Sourcing and qualification support. Work samples, partners, past performance references. Support services. Competitive intelligence and shaping. Black hat exercises to pressure test your score, citations, and compliance. Price to win support aligned to the required rate template training. Focused training for proposal development and capture teams so your internal staff can execute faster and cleaner. If you're unsure where to start, a short eligibility self-score assessment usually provides the quickest clarity on pool strategy and the most realistic path to award. If you have questions or want to discuss your specific situation, please reach out using the contact information on this slide. We offer consultations to help you assess competitiveness and readiness before you decide to pursue this opportunity. It has been a pleasure sharing these insights with you today. Thank you for your time and your engagement. Have a wonderful day and hope to see you in our future presentations.